Here we go. My stomach's already too.
I'm not sure what I look like in the camera. As I'm sure everybody has immediately noticed, I got my hair cut yesterday at Wendy's barber. She does a fantastic job, but it's like the first day after you get your hair cut, after you take a shower, you never know kind of what you look like. And the thing is, we might not let on, but Jessie is exclusively interested in me for my looks. And so it's very important that I look very good for her. Yeah.
Well, I guess it's a good thing I don't use a camera to view you then, huh?
Oh, my God.
I mean, I love you, but you made it all about how you looked on camera.
So, hello, everybody. We're a little late because Jessie and I are both busy doing two radically different things. And of course, both of us are supposed to be doing something else. Anyway, but we're mostly. I'm super curious. I gotta just take a look. See. Oh my gosh! Why am I?
You're very low.
Why did nobody tell me that? All right, that's about right. I don't want to be too tall. I don't want to convey the impression that I'm taller than Jessie. See, so this side, yeah, that side. I don't like how that side looks. Okay, but you know what? It's just on camera. Anyway.
Ooh, Magpie can stay for this whole thing.
The Magpie?
Yeah.
Oh my.
That's right, Jake. I'm feisty today. Beware. I guess David's the only one who needs to beware.
No, it's true. Oh, I actually don't know what this means. So we have hyvä. We know what that means. Hyvä kevättä kaikille. I'm sorry. Hyvä kevättä kaikille. What does that mean? Sicylanguist?
Sicylanguagist.
Sicylanguagist.
You were getting there. I felt it. Ooh, we have a spicy pull. Okay. All right. We're here.
No, just
you're waiting for your answer.
I'm messaging John Quijada, so you understand where you're, in terms of priorities, where you lie.
Boy, I come with the burns for David. You come with the burns for the whole community. Man. All right. It is the 16th. I know what day it is. Oh my goodness. I am apparently hungry. All right. Oh, kebat is spring. So, and then kaikile is the allative plural of kaiki, to all.
To
look,
all.
Happy spring to all.
Oh, of course. Because we know that one. We know kaiki. And I guess, yeah, of course.
Oh, for all, yes.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying we knew spring, and I was like,
No.
did we? I didn't. Oh, that's incredible. Oh, did you record it? Can we see them talking about David?
Yeah, no. In fact, I would love to watch that with John. It'll be like Tom and Huck watching their own funerals.
Oh, Jake is saying that they know a place to watch football. Just don't take Jessie. Is it too rowdy for me?
I have no idea.
But yeah, no, that's really unfortunate, Miles, because that would be just so delightful to hear what people have found about David online. There is some misinformation out there, including the amount you're worth. I married you and found out that was wrong.
Is that too? Oh. By the way, I was trying. Was that a reference to the football episode of IT Crowd? Yeah.
Wait.
Or.
Oh. Well, Listen, if there's a reference inside a reference at any point today, my brain will not pick it up.
Yeah, it's too much. I mean, look at me. We've gone this far, and I've been on Top Chat.
Oh, no.
Probably missed everything Mateus has said.
The student made up Sylvia's birthday. What day did they choose? This is incredibly important information. We need to find out when it feels like Sylvia was born.
Sylvia needs to get in on this too.
When do you think Sylvia should have a birthday? I feel like September, because then you get Sylvia Sotomayor, September. You get this really lovely sa going. So I'm going to place her birthday in September. And I like the 21st.
All right.
So September 21st is now... No, wait, 17th. Why not do another sa? September 17th is now Sylvia's birthday.
How about September
You're welcome.
17th, 1969, Summer of Love. Anyway. Oh, wow. 27 is a really good number.
Oh, that is nice.
I mean, why not go with 127.77, though, you know?
David really does only have 2 teeth. That's the truth, Patrick.
Just like a cartoon character.
He is, in fact, part beaver, and it's really just the 2 teeth. And we use very, very strategic implant placements here to make it look real that he has regular teeth online. But
by the way, since I'm talking...
Oh my gosh, you're right. That was September 21st. Oh, Jonathan, that was a good day. Ragdoll was in line, though. There we go. All right, David. Are you still texting John? Okay. Are you telling Sylvia now we made up a birthday?
Yeah, now I got to tell Sylvia this, but I'm texting John. By the way, someone watching our stream right now apparently had students give presentations on famous conlangers. By the way, my phone auto-corrected conlangers to conlang nerd.
Oh, Ragdoll, you're right. She could be the 7th of the 7th month in 77. Oh, that could be delightful. Yeah, well, you know what, Jonathan? 21st, 22nd is so close. It's all good. When I randomly reach in my head for numbers, they're usually odd. I am a person who prefers odd numbers. And so I also am that person who tends to set my thermostat to an odd number, which makes me an oddball in the world, I have heard. Oh. I only do it on even numbers here because we're trying to compromise, and usually an even number is our compromise.
Yeah.
And so anyway.
I think
I also like volumes. I'll put it at an odd number. So, like not 14, I'll go to 15, etc.
For me, it's purely on like what I think the right sound level is. But yeah. I have to say, I'd like to think that we've come a long way in terms of compromising, in terms of home comfort. Like
in terms of I've had to retrain my body.
In terms of I will allow you to turn the fan on at night sometimes.
Sometimes. Only if it goes above 78, I've found, have you allowed me to turn on a fan. And only there are times where I'm literally dying and kicking him, and then he's like, fine, turn on the fan.
It helped.
There it is.
It helped once I realized I could just get entirely under the covers and block myself from it. And the sheet covers most of the awful air as long as the fan is not going too high. Or on too high, rather.
Oh, I think Charlie just called me maniacal, and I'll take it. I will take it. Okay. Oh, and there we go. We have confirmation that 78 is 25 degrees Celsius for anyone who needs that conversion. And... Oh... Matthias says it's been consistently about 27 degrees Celsius there. Nice.
And that means what for us? Like, what, is that like cold?
Well, I had just mentioned that Sislinguagist had said 78 is 25 degrees Celsius. And so 27 degrees Celsius is a bit warmer, so a little over 80.
Oh.
Oh, goodness, Ragdoll. Oh, I would not make it to over 30 before I needed a fan. All right. Are we ready for the poll results, David?
Do you have them?
Yeah.
That's really impressive.
I finished them before I started reading chat. I didn't look up till I finished them.
Dang. Well done. It's a lot better than I would have done. All right. Let us hear about the poll results.
Do you want to remind people in the document where we have that auxiliary information pulled up? Because what we were doing was coming up with a word for the verb to build. And this one is important because it's also going to serve as an auxiliary in the language. And it's specifically going to be future, I believe. Am I correct? Okay.
And that was the last thing we had
Okay,
to do.
so this will end up being the source
Yeah.
for the future auxiliary. And that means that we can also like shorten it beyond what its full form is. We can reduce it even more in sound. We had also talked about the possibility of some of the verbs that get used as auxiliaries kind of end up getting new forms, and then these old forms only get used as auxiliaries. So anywho, we've got some options there.
All right.
You know what I found out today? You did a really cleverly brilliant thing in Dothraki by making the verb to write just a semantic extension of to tattoo someone.
Oh.
That was brilliant. I love it.
Well, thank you.
Anyway, I am ever the consummate professional. Look at me. Oh, as I throw a pen. I am very professional. All right. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 suggestions put in
I'm going to go ahead and write them up here so people can see them.
as we go. Well, I'll tell you, I'm going to start at the bottom.
Okay.
And this one, I'm not entirely sure if it just got like one pity vote across the board, because it at each level of voting got one and exactly one like. And it was the suggestion for poo, long U.
That's a protoform or?
It both, like it becomes a long U.
Okay.
That one was not well loved. And I think it's because of the sound.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, the person who wrote that suggestion in later commented on Discord, "Oh, I kind of forgot that poo means something in English." It was not pity. It was self-backing. That is good stuff right there. Okay, so that's at the bottom. However, I will say, Jake, you put in like I think 2 other suggestions, and they fared much better. All right, next up, receiving 5 votes is Litza, which is Litza in proto and modern form.
Okay.
And so it's just
Yep.
there. That got 5 votes, and so that was next up the list. Up from there with 8 votes.
Actually, I'll put them like this. Yeah, go ahead.
In proto form is Fuva, but then Huva in modern,
Regular P or
and then Va.
regular B?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Huva
All right.
in the modern.
Ooh, and actually we can. Yeah.
That got 8 votes.
Okay.
And some of these are really nice forms that I think we should try to use for other things since they didn't make it.
In 23rd place, apparently.
So you gotta start from 1.
There we go. Okay.
And one up from there with 9 votes, we have Tapa, which stays Tapa, so Taapa, and then T long A P A. That had 9 votes. Then we had a 3-way tie
Ooh.
at 10 votes each.
Okay.
10 votes each. We had Pixa, which stays Pixa. That was tied with Biv, B-I-V, which stays Biv, B-I-V.
That's my favorite.
And I noticed you voted. And then Kuvmua. So that's with the V, mua. Becomes Kuv, that vowel.
High or low?
It's the ram's horn.
Okay, low. Got it. Okay, or non-high. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one, those each got 10 votes. All right, so we should have
7.
7 on the board.
Top 2.
The top 2 are tied. We have a tie.
Whoa.
So I said it's spicy. It's spicy. All right. So here we go. Top 2 with 14 votes each. We have protoform tun tu. Those are 2 dental T's with a voiceless N with U's before and after. Tun tu.
Uh-huh.
Which becomes thun thu in modern form.
Right.
That has 14.
Okay.
Also at 14 is dental D, dum, with a voiceless M.
Okay.
And that becomes thon.
Thumb.
Which, of course, that is a play on the word damn.
Right.
But it actually works kind of nicely because coming out thon, you would never guess.
Mm-hmm.
You'd never guess that was the protoform. So, David, unless you have a very clear favorite, I say this is something we could put to vote with our viewers right now between these 2 forms. But you may have very specific thoughts or feelings about these 2 forms.
First, let me put in the correct diacritics if we're going to do this. But we're going to do a vote. This vote is not going to be which one do you like. Let's see if you can guess which the correct one is, because there is a correct and incorrect one, and let's see if you get it right. This will be fun. All right, let's.
I'm gonna join you in the document, and then I'll copy and paste what you put, and I'll get the poll started.
Okay, there are all the correct diacritics.
All right, here we go. That is 1 and 2. And David's dancing.
I'm dancing for you, Jess.
Okay.
All right.
I worded it in a way that I hope you find pleasing.
Well done. While we're waiting, I actually wanted to run something by you, Jess, but since people are here, I'll ask you too. I have, at the 11th hour, as I go through the process of printing out a new version of all the materials for the Sovala board game, which I'm going to bring to England. Of course, at the 11th hour, I came up with a much better way of doing some of the graphics / design. Because, it's not like I can do this by hand. I'm using things that they're not design programs. Basically, I'm using Pages and Keynote. But I was like, oh, why don't I just do this for the images? Why don't I just use tables? Then I don't have to mess around, because there's been these double thicknesses. Here I can show you. Like, they've been kind of weird the way that they merge together. So I was using tables, but now I would like to know which one of these is better. Up here, you can see the white line kind of. Whereas over here, it goes like that.
Without the white line.
Yeah, and the reason that this is actually better, because I know this looks nice, but then it actually looks a little weird when you get rid of the yellow lines and put the image, because suddenly these green lines are all thicker than the lines around there, and it's visually weird. This solves it rather neatly.
Yeah, take away the white line.
Like these? Those are better?
Yeah.
Okay. That is actually what I thought as well.
Because then it looks like actual movement into the square. The white line stopped it,
Yeah.
It made it look like there was something different about the first square directly in front of you.
All right. Let's see if the patrons got the right answer too. By the way,
Oh, Jonathan says I am 100% correct. So they
nice.
have backed me.
Quit Keynote.
You saved?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's shared. You don't have to.
Yeah.
I still save. We have, I believe, all the votes we're getting. And
Yep.
I'm curious to know. So I'm going to... Oh, you ended it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I ended it.
I'm curious to know, because I actually don't know what you're leaning towards.
Oh, the patrons were absolutely correct. Yeah. Great. Absolutely wonderful for our auxiliary. Love it. I mean, of course, like it could have been shortened to thump or something like that, but there's something about high nasalized vowels that just doesn't work.
That is true, which is why he normally lowers them.
Yeah, that's true. I decided to keep them in this one just as a lark. Yeah.
And then there they were, larking their way into a potential auxiliary form.
Yeah. So, anyway, but yeah, it makes you unhappy. Beef was my favorite of all of those. I thought it was an absolutely lovely suggestion. Unfortunately, Patrick made the cardinal sin of not putting the option on the poll on the first day when people actually looked at the poll. Instead, it was like, I don't know, like 2 days before the end of the poll.
So the fact that you
when
ended up in the
nobody
middle,
looked at it.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, you understand, Patrick, so you'll do better next time. Anyway.
Indeed.
Oh yeah, no, lots of languages are very happy to nasalize high vowels, Mr. Luridian. But then again, I'm not most languages.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
The number of things that you rant about seeing in conlings, and then we see it in a natling, and David's just like, wow.
Yep. All right, so
I did, however, just write a whole section about basically saying, for the love of God, if you use Q in your romanization, make it mean the uvular stop.
yeah, thank you, by the way.
You're
I really
welcome.
appreciate that.
That was for David.
Yeah, so I would like to save these other forms. We, of course, know that this word in Finnish is...
Oh, tree.
That's right. That's a nice
Momentarily forgot.
word. Okay, so then...
Because I was just thinking, my first thought was, oh, reduplicated, you get poo-poo is rabbit, or bunny
Yeah, pupo.
is bunny.
It's bunny.
And then, but yeah, poo is tree.
Do we have a place to just dump a bunch of forms to use later?
I don't think so. Like in this language, I thought we were trying to do better about not keeping too many things.
Forms to use later. Let's just do it.
Just there. That sounds perfect.
Yeah. And I'll get rid of the numbers. We don't need those.
Oh, Jesse. Oh. Jesse says you may not be most languages, but you are most on-screen constructed languages. Oh, man alive.
So, by the way, I posted about this in the Discord, but I just wanted to figure out if anybody can figure out why I did this. So, going back as I was moving towards printing out materials again, I was trying to figure out what on earth does the name for the cat kingdom, the Sarkije speakers. It's Kaye Ron Ron. What does it mean? Ron Ron. And it's like, it's so weird. And so I went and looked it up and couldn't find anything. And as I was going through the document, all I could find actually was Kaye Ron Mon, which makes sense. And there is actually an etymology in there of what that means. But, and so it makes sense. But basically, everywhere in my materials, I had written this. This looks reduplicated. I'd written that everywhere. And I've already determined this was some sort of error. And that the correct thing was that should have actually been that. And it makes a lot of sense for a ton of reasons. But what I'm wondering is if anybody can figure out why I did this. Like, I cannot remember. I thought that this was actually what it was. And it's like I looked at and saw que roman, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. But like, I don't know where I got this and why I repeated it everywhere. It was quite intentional. It wasn't a typo. It wasn't an accident. I did it on purpose, and I can't remember why I did it. So if anybody could remember why I did that, I would love to know.
So, Jonathan, I solved the first part of the mystery, which is what does it mean? What is the etymology? And what is its form supposed to be? I didn't solve the second part of the mystery, which is why did David have ron, ron? And I remember it being between those two forms. I don't remember why, but I do remember it being between two forms. But I did verify that in our actual Sarkije document, we have with an M in the Sovala vocabulary list that we were building. I had it as an M in all of those. And so, yeah, we're just not entirely sure why the R was there ever. And I do remember it being, like, I feel like I remember it being a vote between patrons.
Yeah, and the only thing I can think of is that the etymology of it is that this thing ultimately comes from ram, and it means land. And then it takes the suffix, which I think is class 7, but the bean suffix, which is a word for box. And so the, ram bean in the Proto becomes essentially through sound changes, ron, mon. And it means the place of the land. It's a word that we were using for kingdom. Now, ron ron, it could be a reduplication. But then it would be occurring without a noun class suffix, which is not impossible for Sarkije, but unusual, I would say. I suppose theoretically, like, the reduplication could be semantically, it's like, oh, it's the big land, it's the kingdom. But it certainly is not better than roman, because it's a weird reduplication, difficult with trill going to the nasal vowel twice, and roman sounds like Roman, which I know was also part of the allure of doing this.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, the fact I was so confident in all of my own, in the board game documentation, and that I used it everywhere, that's the thing that's really throwing me off. I don't understand it. So I felt like it must have been based on something, not just on like a bizarre typo.
Right.
Anyway.
And really the only
place
I see clear reduplication is we have this wulu to play with.
Whereas it's used as a verb.
A verb, yeah. Because the only other one is ihi, but that's actually the class marker on top of what was the source of the class marker.
Yeah.
And so that is not an actual... Oh, wait, no. Ich is not one of our class markers. This is in the clause collective. This is a true reduplication because our class marker is K. Ich is what we use for claw. This archaic root meaning claw got reduplicated to mean collective.
Yeah, so
that's actually a true reduplication. So it could have been a true reduplication to mean like land, territory, where it's like but then we decided we didn't super like that.
Yeah, phonologically I don't like that. Semantically I like it, but not... I don't like it so much that it's better than just putting the suffix on there for the place suffix. That gives us a sound that we enjoy.
Yeah.
Oh, Danielle.
You're right, Jake.
Don't remind me of Lady... I feel like going through all of Lady Gaga's songs and saying, like, these are the sections that could be changed to make the song better. Because I swear, it's like these songs, they're like absolutely 10 stars, and then there's like in each one there's like 8 seconds of like 0 stars, and it's like, why did you do this?
David feels very strongly.
So strongly. It's like it reminds me of the whole 90s thing, like in the Evanescence song where they're like, this is such a good song. You know what it needs? It needs some dude to come in there and be really stupid. Let's just throw him in there, and that'll somehow make this a better song, which it didn't. You know the one I mean.
I know the one you mean, and I was never bothered by the yelling man in the background.
Oh God, or Love Shack. You know Love Shack?
I know Love Shack. I don't know what...
The guy who comes on, you know the song?
Yeah, of course I know the song.
Yeah, it's just...
But like, I, again, never bothered by it.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't even sure what you would have been bothered by.
That's just terrible. It's
anyway.
Like, man, there's this really nice song. Let's get this guy in here to ruin it.
Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. It's just his voice, David. I really like HAR.
I've listened to
a very big fan.
I've listened to them minimally and haven't noticed what you're talking about.
And I don't want you to notice because I like them and you're going to keep hearing them.
You're right.
So Magpie, don't tell David what to listen for, please. All right, David, what do we need to do to make that real? Like, is that, do we have charts going? What are we doing?
Yeah, like, honestly, I think just in its regular form, like, this is not one that's going to get reduced.
No, because
it's pretty. So I'm going to...
And also, as David had mentioned previously, as the future, it will be used, but just not as much. And so there would be, less chances for it to get further reduction. Like losing nasality or whatever, just because it's like, it's just going to be used less.
Okay. All right. So that is that. I guess the next thing that we need to do is we need to go and turn these into auxiliaries in the tables. Did we do that with the other ones? I feel like we did.
I think so. Look at all these. Imperfect auxiliary, habitual, perfect, negative.
So we need the future auxiliary, which I'll... Now this thing...
If I remember correctly, HAR is literally just like the first letter of the 3 brothers' names who are in HAR.
Oh my God, did you hear about NSYNC?
No.
The name of the band, NSYNC, apparently like it lines up with the last letter of the first name of each of the band members.
Okay, well, we got Timberlake, but that's an
Justin.
E. Oh, Justin, last of the first name.
Yeah,
so
last
Justin
letter of the first
is
name.
N, Chris is the S, Joey is the Y.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have another N. Well, Lance, where does Lance come in? He's an E.
I don't know. Look,
Lance Bass. Where does he come in?
I may have heard this wrong, or hold on a sec. NSYNC.
And then AJ, what is AJ's name beyond AJ?
Okay, hold on. Let's go. Where would the Mickey Mouse Club? Here we go.
Or JC.
Justin, Chris, Joey, Jason, JC.
Because his real name is Jason and not Lance, is that? And by the way, AJ is Backstreet Boys. How embarrassing. JC is who I was thinking of.
But yeah, actually though, like, I really respect that. Like, I thought it was just like a whatever. They just came up with a name and changed the spelling, but that's pretty cool.
No, they used to have a different bass singer. And then Lance came on later. And so he ruined it. Well, no, he didn't ruin it. Let me tell you, Lance Bass is amazing, and I love him. Apparently, Jason, though, was some person who barely missed being famous because they didn't get famous until Lance was part of the group.
Yeah.
I do remember, though, when Lance became part of the group, there was a big thing because, like, he was not a dancer. Like, everybody else had dancing background. And so there was a whole thing to get him able to actually just do the choreography.
Yeah. Anyway, but like, yeah.
There's a little bit of information for you.
Sure. I just thought, this is a way I can connect to your world.
I bet they did nickname him Lanston. I love it. Okay. Anyway. If Miles, if you mean by make it better, then yes, you're right. They ruin everything. Make it better.
Okay, so let's do this. And I think this is where, because, all right, shoot, what is it? This is the last time we're going to need to do this.
You need these?
Yeah.
Which I think these were the things here, yeah?
Yeah, so it's, and we'll discuss how this is.
Ooh, yes, Jake. Speaking of, Hlab, let's have a booba, is streaming on Wednesdays again. Starting off our Conlang week the right way. We've got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday lineups, with Wednesday being Hlab, Thursday being us, and Fridays being George Corley and, oh goodness, now I always say it backwards too, because David says it backwards. Tongues and runes, runes and tongues.
The way I think of it is, it's about languages, and you start with the sound before you get to the writing system.
So tongues and runes. Okay.
But
and tomorrow at 11.
Tomorrow something special is happening. Tomorrow on a Conlangery channel for Tongues and Runes will be me and George and Artifexian and Biblaridian and one more person.
Agmashwa, which may be Ingmashwa.
Yes. And we will be doing a D&D one-shot hosted by Joey Windsor. Why did I say Whitford? He's an Aerosmith. Joey Windsor will be hosting a one-shot where we will all be playing. And I'll be playing my one D&D character that I've had for years, that I've played in like 3 different campaigns in 3 different places. He's shown up as an NPC in 2 different campaigns that I've run. My dragonborn bard, Braidasmion, who is always there to have a good time and has uncommonly incredible strength and charisma. I once, in fact, successfully changed the backstory of another person playing the game just because I was that charming.
That's amazing.
All right. Now let's do the okay. Oh, and then I should probably.
Biblaridian has a rant about Dragonborn. Oh, that's going to be the first question I ask you when we see each other in person again.
I don't know a thing about anything D&D, so I don't care. I really don't. Honestly, my character is just there to have a good time.
Oh, man.
All right. Now we need to figure out, I think, let's find out if the, okay, we're going to go to the sound changes. And we need this. While I'm doing this, we also have, another minor announcement regarding next week, yeah?
We're going to be streaming from another location and thus at another time next Thursday.
A to be determined time.
We have no idea what time we're going to stream next Thursday.
Not a bit.
Because it kind of depends on schedule and everything else and whatnot. But we will be streaming on Thursday at some time. And we'll be with Jake.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be like a LTS club kind of situation. Collaboration, if you will.
Ooh, collaboration. I like that.
And we will be in the same place streaming from Jake's. And so now, Miles, you have to be there too, right? You're going to jump on a plane, Miles?
That's right.
And Mateus, yes, I really hope you have a wonderful trip and whatever days you can join us while you are gallivanting about. We will happily greet you. However, we also look forward to greeting you in person again when you come all the way West Coast ways.
Woo! All right.
Oh, so these are going to be much bigger forms. I like it.
Yeah.
Because look at all these other auxiliaries and then compare that to what David has just put here with thami and thama, etc. I'm really happy.
Yeah, I was actually wondering, do we keep it that way? Do we shorten it? And when I say shorten it, I don't mean shorten it and that's the form. I mean, do we have an optionally shorter form? Or do we just leave it?
I actually like it.
Okay, Jesse likes it.
Hey.
Then we're good. Guess what?
We're going to celebrate.
We're kind of done with our verbs.
Celebrate.
Can you believe that? Cheers. Like with all the goofing around we do, we're
Listen,
done.
I don't believe the doneness. We are done until we try to translate a sentence, and then we're going to come back and like change everything. Add more. There's going to be 20 more charts.
Yeah. Then once we do that, old shake weight. Now I'm done. Cheers.
Cheers.
Very carefully.
Mm-hmm.
Kopiko. Your verbs aren't finished until you've had your Kopiko.
Yay.
All right.
Nice.
Nice, John. Oh,
Swap places. So like move our cameras that way so when we literally high five this way, it looks like we're going off screen in different directions. Well, that's just diabolical. Oh, listen, George, we've all been there, and I'm so sorry that is something you are looking at right now, because that is so difficult when you're like, I've got what I need, and then you literally start and go, how did I forget this incredibly basic thing that I need?
What George just said, and bear in mind, we are going to be streaming tomorrow, where George is going to be debuting his draconic language, like not as in debuting as if we haven't seen it, he's been building it, but using it, actually using it. George says, oh, I was just doing a bunch of incantations and I forgot to make a post position after doing diagrams and everything. And by the way, he has very charming diagrams. What he means is pictures to illustrate post positional, or add positional semantics. How do you call that? Like we've shown them here before.
Like the meanings, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Oh, I missed something for through. That's one of the worst ones. I'm very jealous of Latin. They're all like, trans. That's through. And they just used it everywhere. It's so cool.
That one's mine. It's dark screen, so it's hard to see.
And with the bumblebees.
In a box. And I did come up with a way to do through. I just forget. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so honestly, I'm delighted by this. I'm really happy with it. I don't know if we've already done it, but this means that we can add verbs to the dictionary because we have our auxiliaries. And then these, let's do, I don't even know what forms these are. Like, I forget. We should probably write up how these forms are used. Because now I don't remember how the conjugated forms of non-auxiliary verbs, like why they even show up.
Are they active participles that have to be conjugated? Like Swahili? Where they're tenseless, but they are actually conjugated for person marking?
No. That active is just a holdover. Does trans means across? Or I thought it meant through in Latin. You're the Latin person.
I think it means across, like transatlantic is across the ocean, not through it.
What do they have for through? Do they have something for through, or do they just use trans?
Matthijs is saying per, which I think may be right.
Oh. Wait, but that's not what perlative means. Perlative is by way of, isn't it?
Let's see. Per, through.
Is there anything else that means through? Hang on.
Nope.
No. Oh, no. Well, okay. All right. You know what? My Latin study. Latin is actually like the first language I taught myself or started to learn. Even more so than French. Like I had a book. I thought it was just a random book because it came from Barnes & Noble and actually said published by Barnes & Noble, but it was a Barnes & Noble edition from like the 70s of Wheelock's Latin in a smaller form. So it was Wheelock's Latin that I was learning. And I got like 60 pages into it, all right? All I remember is that, isn't that funny that herbs become erps or something, and the fact that OE is pronounced oi, what a weird thing. I don't remember. And I was like, dang, there are a lot of sentences about slaves in this. And learning salwate and walete, I don't know.
Actually, I don't know. I thought via was along.
Oh, via just means road.
Via means road, pathway, or manner. It's actually in French where it started being used to mean through or by way of. According to that quick search. Tethys, I was learning about Swahili participles and in at least this dialect being documented. When you have the participles like the ing versions, right, like walking or whatever, they don't occur with a tense marker, but they do occur with a subject marker. And so like you say, like I walking, the road, this is what happened. And so anyway, they still have subject prefixes.
All right. Okay, so we don't need this. Wait, do we have that information somewhere else? Like, have we entered the pronouns in the dictionary?
I have no idea. There are days I think I have not even been here for the creation of this language. My brain is not keeping up. However, this one is entered. Here's I.
Okay. Is that the only one?
I was just searching to see if one was in there. We've got he, she, it, we, you. Yeah, it looks like we have. Sorry, do you want me to go back? Yeah, this is the first one we have is in protoform. Second person plural, we've got that. We've got is, you.
Yeah.
We've got kai in protoform, I. Lanath, the third person becoming nath.
Yeah.
View, vu for we, and zawi for inclusive. And so those are the ones we have.
So, I guess, like we can delete these because we have these forms. We just need to remember that this is where the agreement comes from.
What is off up there? Did I say that one? We don't have off.
Oh, this is the old one.
And it became lanath.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. One thing, like we don't have auth defined separately anywhere.
Oh.
And so even if it's no longer in existence, like it would be helpful for it to...
There.
Okay, it's here.
Good.
Okay, so I did find it in the document, so it's just we hadn't entered it. So yes, that's fine.
Well, I'm gonna start writing up the verb section. So I'm not gonna delete anything. I'm just gonna cut it. Except that this we don't need anymore. This we don't need. I don't think. Well, maybe. Here, I'm gonna...
Actually, Ted, I think it's a ku prefix. I think for the or not infinitive, for the participle. No, wait, that is for the sort of participle / infinitive, the non-finite form that gets used in noun ways. I think is ku. I think ki is the participle form. Yes.
All right, so I'm going to put this above the verb section. So we're going to write. Okay. And by the way, so we already came up with a way to do our adjectives, I believe. Like we could talk about comparison, but something that I would love to start ideating is the name of the language. Because like we've got verbs, we've got nouns, we've got adjectives. We should have everything we need, right? Okay.
Except if you're me, ideas for where it would come from. That's what I'm missing.
Yeah. Okay. LangTime verbs agree with their subjects in person and number to an extent. They do not inflect directly for any tense or aspect or modality. Verbs regularly co-occur with a series of auxiliaries whose combinations result in tense aspect. The verbs regularly co-occur with a series of auxiliaries, resulting ultimately in the reification of various tense aspect combinations. There we go. That's much clearer.
Perfect. All right. I will be right back. I leave you to entertain the masses until I return. There we go. I trust you.
Hey, Jesse, what do you think about this form?
I think it's pretty good, David. I love you. You're wonderful.
Thank you, Jesse. Your ears look very lovely today.
Thank you. Ooh.
Oh, Dino-Nid, we're not Latin anymore. Oh, Jake. Okay. Oh, have we talked about the copula yet? Have we talked about the copula? Somebody remind me if we talked about the copula yet. I think we have. I think we have. Let's see. Now you've got me wondering, Dino-Nid. Reification? Seriously? I don't know about that. Here we go. Yeah. Reify. So if you have reify, then you have reification. Yeah, I was right. Or rather, I was not wrong. Thank you, Karis. Macaronic calc.
Is that a macaroni calc?
That's right. Stuck a feather in his calc and called it macaronic.
See? I knew what was happening.
Oh, Logan has audio. Maybe I should redo my Jessie Rabbit.
Wait, did Logan not have audio this whole time?
No. Logan's only been reading chat.
Oh. That could be very disorienting, I feel.
Probably the best way to follow LangTime Studio. On certain days, anyway. All right. So I couldn't remember if we'd actually done anything with copulas. Yeah.
No?
Really?
I mean, those are the only three there.
Dang.
Like, I don't know why we would have yet. I don't think we were there. Do we have anything? I mean, we didn't even finish the noun introduction.
Yeah, we got sidetracked because we didn't have any verbs. We needed them to like do the rest of the nouns. Maybe let's go back.
Okay. And then, yeah, we have nothing for adjectives or nouns that suggest.
Wait, we didn't finish the nouns? They look pretty finished to me.
Look at the introduction. I've highlighted it.
Oh, yeah, we just jumped right over to noun function.
But I don't see anything in the noun section and there's nothing in the adjective section that gives me any sort of reason to think that we had considered a copula form or what we're going to do in those cases. I know SOV, right? It's SOV word order, that's right. Hey, Arias.
Right? There's no, we don't have plural in this language, or do we? I don't think we do.
No, we don't, I don't think. I believe Jake called your Jessie imitation horrific, while Miles says spot on, and Matei said virtually indistinguishable. Now, I heard it from upstairs. It was...
But you didn't see the rabbit.
Oh, what was the rabbit? My ears were just right, apparently. Aw, look at my cute little rabbit ears.
Number, definiteness, or
Okay.
other case marking. Okay. Oh, we usually have different chairs, don't we?
No, not anymore. I stopped doing that.
Why?
So it was a lot of work. And that one I sink in too far and it's less comfortable.
Well, I'll get you your chair every day. Now, we were a little rushed today.
No, because then the arm gets in the way and I can't go all the way in because the arm's block here.
Oh, it was that we were going to get the chair upstairs, weren't we?
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
No, but I'll give it a shot. We can switch the blue and green chairs.
I already put the blue chair upstairs, so now I have a clean space in the office in front of the bookshelf.
Oh, do you want to bring the green chair back down?
Anyway, this discussion is better held.
I wanted to be helpful. Actually, I was just noticing on my back, this is not a comfortable chair to sit in for long periods of time. Even I will agree with that, and I'm a person that generally does not make considerations for my own comfort.
I'm sorry that it's not comfortable.
Well, I'm sorry it's not comfortable for you too. 2 hours of
Anywho.
misery. That is what LangTime Studio is. All right. Okay, no number. Okay, so that's good. And then this is where we got sidetracked because we didn't have any of these verbs.
Right.
Now we do.
Do we have chew or give?
Wait,
Or
I actually don't know if we have the verbs, but we can just do it right now.
And
So
we've got
see
some
if,
protoforms that...
Yeah, see if we have anything for sleep yet.
No.
All right.
Hey, wait.
Yeah.
You stay there.
Sure.
I'm going down, up, down, here. No, right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sonsu.
Oh, wait.
Wolfman.
No, hold on. I already have a
Wolfman.
favorite. Well, no, I have two possibilities. One is pu, the other one is pizza.
Well, I feel like poo is more sleepy
I think so too.
because, at night sometimes you go
Mm-hmm.
when you breathe.
Could be onomatopoeic. Okay, so then let's figure out how these tenses work.
LTS, long time suffering. We are glad you all stick with us. Let me tell you, we're a riot.
Imperfect, habitual, perfect, future, negative. Oh, well, we did have that as copulas for adjectives. Maybe we were just going to use those for verbs too. Where's that? Remember, because this is like present imperfect, and then habitual status imperfect state. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
so,
right. Yeah. That
so-
makes sense.
And so it's the NOF one is the one that we want. And so yeah, then with just an adjectival predicate or a nominal predicate, we could just use those in that, I think. And then the past habitual, yeah. So we did do copula.
did.
We just didn't call it that. Okay, so then now we need the N one. Nah. Oh, this is really cute, actually. Salepuna.
That's cute. That is nice. Okay, so I'll put sleep up here. Okay, so that's that one. We need chew. Okay. That's the only place it shows up. So chew now that Mia, well, obviously Sungsu could be chew. Litsa, pizza, tapa. These feel like chewing things.
I really think so. It would have started off as tum tu, or tum tum, tum, tum tu, tum tu, tum tu. I think that sounds like chewing because it's like tum, and then like you're. So yeah, tum tu is going to be chew. Modern thum tu.
The way we feel.
And so now we need give. It should probably be a smaller one.
Okay. Ooh, with halwa. Yeah, we're using the protoforms that didn't work. What?
It's pretty cute. Tethys. Snonk. Me, 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 me.
Okay, just a second. We have this in here 10 times, so let me just... I think it's probably in English, but just, yeah. Okay, so... So, beef is too close to English give. Huva, tapa, kuvme. Do any of those feel givey to you?
No, I think we need something new for this. Something nice and short.
Beef would have been so perfect if it weren't give, but in beef. Okay. Whoop, whoop. Okay. What about vai? Or
Proto, that would
Yeah.
show up as ve.
mm-hmm.
Honestly, I like it.
I need to double check that doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's
That's not found, but now let me check this other
yeah.
one. Also not found.
The only thing I'm thinking is there an auxiliary.
Oh,
There is.
that turns out like that?
Yeah, so there's
Um,
so it gives would be ve.
Ve. Could also make it be. Could also make it.
Oh, and then it would be baby. Oh, I love it. All right. We're doing it. Beaver is giving the grass to the frog. Saleo dasu. Saleo dasu mabunga ing. Oh, that should be mabungang. Mabungang benan. Yeah. Saleo dasu mabungang me bena. Saleo dasu mabungang bena. Mabungang bena. Yeah. It's going to take a little practice to speak this because this has a little bit of what I call the kamakawi problem, where the phonology is so not difficult that your tongue gets ahead of your brain and it ends up causing you to halt up. All right.
And then we can do that last one too, then. So we've got giving the grass. So that would just be bena as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Saleo da sing bena. Delightful. I'm just going to take this and put it with the verbs. I'll just put that with the rest of the fire.
Fire?
It's an IT crowd reference. Do we need these anymore?
Oh, when the whole thing is on fire? I don't
think we need this.
I don't remember why it's there. I'm gonna be real honest.
Making me feel laughy.
Do you remember that song, Laffy Taffy?
No.
Anyway. All right.
Oh, I see. So I've written it there. Why would that do that? I didn't ask for that to be done. And I'm going to go ahead and do that there.
Oh, yeah, because then you show both forms, the full form and the shortened form. Okay. So we've got that. Do we want to talk through our thoughts on these little describe-y words? Do we want to give an example of, because you had said that we had made a decision, with the way we were using the auxiliaries. Do we want to go ahead and write up some examples to show that this is, a state, a copula kind of thing?
Yeah, we should.
Although we're going to need...
There's also this that apparently wasn't done.
to put and to carry.
We didn't create that locative, and then this one was a paw, but we didn't finish that? I feel like we did finish that.
Okay, and so we can use that.
Yeah, we have this word for paw. It's mo. We already did that.
Yeah, because if you recall, then we had the whole mo.
Oh.
And we had that form there.
But that means we didn't like that though, right? Were we gonna change that?
No, and made a statement to our audience that that
Yeah.
we support.
Yes, that's
And
right.
we're not doing this
Yes.
as a,
Okay.
but I don't know where it is. Like oh, right here, odasumo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's the example, some grass. So this is just extra at this point.
That up there.
Yeah, because it's right here in a bullet point.
Okay, so then what is our locative? Did we ever come up with that? So yeah, we can get rid of that.
No.
Okay.
So yeah, we don't have locative and we don't have put or carry.
Let's do locative first, because this is a thing where we have to decide, because remember we wanted to have some of these portmanteau. And we have these articles, and we're going to have a list of portmanteaus somewhere.
I think, by the way, that carry should be beeve, because that's a nod to them carrying all those things that they do.
Oh, that's really nice. Let's go ahead and do that, just since we're thinking about it. I'll just put that beeve na right there. Okay, when these articles co-occur with other postpositions, they will change their forms, creating special portmanteau. All such portmanteau are listed below. We only have one. And so we really need, for whatever this locative is, it needs to be something that is a portmanteau.
Okay. And this would be, oh, what about having it, just a second. Having it begin with like a pho, which becomes a h, which then disappears in their portmanteau, because like the initial H is very weak in between.
Okay, so then it'd need to start with this. And we could do the triple vowel thing. So this thing can begin with two vowels, and then the triple vowel thing will cause vowel coalescence to happen, and then there will be further things from there. Okay, so it's going to start with fu.
Okay.
And it needs to mean something, right? I mean, it could be for locative. It could be stay. What do we have for sit? Because I know that we have something for that already, right?
I don't think so.
Sa.
Oh, okay.
So that doesn't really reduce very well. Unless we could actually just do something really easy and just say that, it just becomes keys and fas.
That's true.
And save this idea for another one, because we have to have at least three. I think that was the determination. We needed at least three in order to say that this is a thing. So we got to have at least one more.
Do you want to like write a note that fu will be the start of another portmanteau form, just like so we remember?
Yes. And then how about let's just do it like this. There we go. And so now we should probably, have we entered postpositions in the dictionary? We have not.
Do you want to, before we leave this area, what do you think about Litza to put or place something?
A little big.
A little big, okay. All these are bigger, so I think those are the only. So we'll have to create something new then.
Okay. Let's do that. And then this is going to become just saw. That little key combo timing is just so incredible. Put small form, CBC, VC, CBB. Patrick says use ta. Works for me.
No. Okay. As long as we don't have it elsewhere, we're good.
Pardon me.
Oh, so I'm gonna put that up in the list.
Hey,
Make
what's up?
sure. Whoop! Oh shoot! I apparently had my cursor put where David's was, and I just almost messed something up. Okay, so ta becomes ta to put to place. I will have that there. Okay. Ave Satana. Exactly. Yes. Love it, Patrick. Yeah, Miles had also suggested ta. Oh, that's fun. Oh, and tetha is a lot. We can use that form for something else. And there we go. Oh, we did, by the way,
Yes.
have this idea up here. The standing ones are like a nation of beavers, or the beaver speakers, or both.
Huh.
And that could play into.
Oh, I think that's good
Something.
for the beaver speakers, but you're right. We can use something like that,
Something
like the
with it.
place of the standards.
So we did have that. So you fixed that. Do we need? What else were you doing? 'Cause then I said let's go ahead and get a word for put before you wanted to enter things in the dictionary. That's
Well,
where we were.
we have created a number of postpositions and haven't really listed them anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, and even here, I don't know why I thought this. Like I was just like, oh, well, these things are defined elsewhere, so we don't need to define them here. But it seems a little silly.
Yeah, they should be defined there. Okay.
I think probably it was because the definitions of key and fa would just be the same each time, but that's not a big deal. Key is singulative, and fa is paucal. I guess they wouldn't like line up, but actually, if we put the keys with the fas.
One very frustrating things about bulleted lists is that when you then try to format within them, like with a tab, it like absolutely freaks out.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult when you then have to effectively make your own formatting outside of the bulletness.
Yeah, I think I'm going to. It may seem radical, and it is. I'm going to do this. Put the keys with the fas, or the keys with the keys and the fas with the fas. All right. Does ing have any other meaning aside from like some sort of objective meaning?
Not that I know of. It comes from the verb meaning to sniff. But I only see it listed in all of the descriptions as being a direct object or a primary object marker.
Okay.
And so, yeah, just an object marker. Primary object says direct object of monotransitive verbs and indirect object of ditransitive verbs.
Oh, and these things are already part of. Those are already part of. So we can't have anything that looks like the partitive, ultimately. Okay.
So we just need to make sure we don't make a key form.
Yeah. That's all right. I have an idea. If this is this, I believe that it becomes ram's horn. Is that right?
Sounds right.
Yeah, it does. And so you just say the first vowel drops out, and the result is ram's horn, assuming that we don't have it here. We don't. We don't.
And I just checked protoforms, and we don't have a hua as a protoform. We do have a fa as a protoform, but not hua.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Cut and fa. Now we just need a meaning for this.
And Patrick was suggesting Good Builders as the name of the beavers. Okay. Okay, and these are like going to be really basic postposition / case-ish markers. Is that?
Yeah, so we've already taken care of the primary and secondary object. We've already taken care of the locative, and we've already got whatever mo is.
Palco. No.
The heck is mo?
Was that our locative?
It's a word for paw.
Change of place. Postposition used with objects that undergo a change of place. They are otherwise unaffected by the action of the verb.
Okay, where are you seeing those?
Right here, highlighting it, top of page 14. If you don't see my highlight, there you
go. Okay, so it's just blanched. It's just objective. So it's a secondary object. Ing is primary object. Sa is locative. And those are the only postpositions we have. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So other postpositions that we could have are not really a dative. Like we don't like, theoretically there could be a benefactive if we're not using a secondary object for that. I don't necessarily think we should do that because we might end up using that more than our primary secondary object construction, which is part of the feature of this language. Inessive, oblative.
Miles is suggesting potentially like a comitative / instrumental.
Yeah.
And Patrick, you're right. That was why we had the pollative. We need that to be in the description of mo. It's the pollative case. That's why we created that whole word.
Okay.
The pollative postposition. Just so we don't forget that we made this cute little word. And then, yeah, Tethys, David just mentioned why we don't want to do a benefactive.
Yeah.
It could...
I really like instrumental or oblative for this because of how short it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because the postposition itself, which we will not have written anywhere, but we'll write here, postposition itself is actually huh. Hell with it. Let's just do a poll. Oblative, and where it would mean something like leave or go away from, or instrumental, where it will mean something like, I don't know, use. I don't know. Where is it?
Patrick, I still say ablative.
It's better than ablative. Not mentioning anybody by name, Carl Buck.
Thank you, Karis.
Actually, though, if Carl is still here, I meant to mention it. Okay, so there was the San Diego Chargers are a football team that always do a weird video, like a funny video for their for revealing their schedule. Like, there's no reason for this; they just do it. Often they're very, very funny. This one was they did it all in The Sims, using The Sims to create an animation. And it was a bit too esoteric, even for me, a football fan. Like, I didn't get most of the stuff. It was just chock full of inside jokes. But one of them was when they showed that they were playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. There was a little van that was called the Yin's something.
I think it was Yin's Move.
Yin's Move. That's right. It was a moving van. Yin's Move. And I thought that was a nice reference. Okay.
Oh, Patrick, then you'll be in the same club as me, and we will be doing well.
I'm gonna keep it.
Will
Our postposition be oblative or instrumental?
Very important poll coming your way now.
There it is.
And we will find out the fate momentarily.
Also, these aren't meanings, these are functions, so I should put them in something.
Gosh, David.
Yeah, I know.
How embarrassing.
That's what everybody was thinking. They didn't say it kindly.
So they said it meanly? Or they kindly avoided saying anything?
I believe that you heard the comma while I spoke.
I did not. I was trying to find where people were saying unkind things in chat, and I didn't see anything, so I was confused. Kindly. That was a pause. Gosh, David's pause was about as long as the pause between the question and answer segments for that one Finnish speaker on the Duolingo. Well, Finnish, you know.
Oh, God, that's right.
It's like, here's the question, here's the answer, and it goes so fast all together that you think it's one sentence, and it's like, why is this happening? And then you realize that it was a question and an answer. Mm-hmm. Then another speaker on there waits so long that you think what you're listening for is over, and then the answer segment comes like a minute later.
We got a lot more viewers than votes right now. I'm gonna leave this up.
Where are Yin's at? We need the votes. Mm-hmm. Am I right, Miles? How you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're here. All right. Oh, we didn't have examples of all these, but we do have the relationships there. So we've got got stuff there.
Yeah,
Cool.
I mean, we really wrote up some stuff.
You're right. It's also in the intonation. And there was no intonation there to suggest that it was.
There was a huge intonational drop.
Oh my gosh, David. Your self perception is wrong. It's instrumental in overthrowing. Yes. Bum-ba-da-ba. How many?
I want to give people a few more minutes because there's like, I don't know.
Because like 2 votes could change this effectively, is what David is saying.
Oh, geez. Well, I think 2 votes just did change it. I think this is done.
Mm-hmm.
Instrumental it is.
I was feeling more instrumental anyway, so that makes me happy.
Cool. I was feeling more oblative.
Well,
Yeah.
about that. Okay. Woo! And what is this gonna originally mean? Pua? Which becomes hey? Hey.
Well, I had a better idea for ablative. So for instrumental, I don't know. It can mean use. It can mean. I mean, it could mean carry, but we already did carry, didn't we?
Yeah, because beef is to carry. What is that like its full form? Like when it goes down from pua, it just becomes this?
Yeah.
Okay, so like
Wait.
this is
Wait. Wait.
because is the verb
No, it becomes F. That's right. The rounding happens. I'm sorry. The
mm-hmm.
yeah.
And so this is going to be the verb, and then our preposition is going to be this, but going, our postposition rather, is going to be this, but going all the way down to he, which is instrumental.
Well, this is an
Because it's going to reduce, right?
Well, I that's one way to do it, but basically, there's a counter bleeding thing going on, or I'm sorry, no, a bleeding. That is going on, counterfeiting. And I'll show you.
Well, alpacas are important too, so I'm sure that whether it's alpaca or alpaca pole, it's very important. Sorry, that was a little pun on my part.
Yeah. Where's the rule that I'm thinking of?
Talking about the one that it goes to H?
Yeah, that one.
Oh my goodness gracious. That was a yawn. Where is... Oh, here it becomes after nasals is a terrible post-nasal assimilation.
Okay. Fa becomes hua before round vowels. And then hua becomes H. So that's the thing. The vowel unrounds before that rule. So it's counterfeiting. The VV simplification bleeds fricative lenition. Because the rounded oo has already become unrounded. It becomes unrounded Rule 13, so that Rule 16 doesn't apply. That was why I had it as H. I don't think it makes sense for it to go to H anymore. So no, I think that it should just be F. So it's... by the way, so for carry... I think proto, this should mean to carry with the mouth, maybe? Or no? Yeah.
And then it ends up becoming the verb meaning to carry in general.
Yeah, and then...
And then this will be to carry with the hands. That ends up being archaic and not used anymore.
Yes.
Because it is then going to... archaic become instrumental postposition. And it's pronounced with an F, but when it's in our little thingy, it reduces all the way in the portmanteau. Yeah? Okay, so in the
Yes.
portmanteau section, we need to take out the H that was there.
Yes, I'm doing it.
Okay.
Good. Huh! Look what happened.
It just became itself.
Yeah.
Well, that's a delightful little overstep of boundaries.
I think I like it. I think I like it. Unbelievable. What a weird little thing.
Also weird is Miles saying that they would pay to get COVID tests again for the little nasopharyngeal swab massage. That's not something you hear every day. And I
think people are just trying to shine us on this thing.
very, very happy for you, Miles. That was a sensation you apparently enjoyed. And so...
Woo! You've done it. You've slain her. You've slain the Jessie.
Anyway.
Oh my.
Right, Jonathan? All right. David, where do you think we're going from here as we start thinking ahead to poll? Ooh, what is... I can't read it. I saw a really cool Valerian glyph on our little tidbit up there, but now I can't.
Kempa, it's heavy. Get it?
Oh, nice. That's gorgeous. Okay, anyway. I have my wrong glasses on, so I can't actually read what's on the thing. Where are we going? And what poll might we have in the making
Well,
for our dear patrons?
I really want to get some of this stuff down about the verbs and then like delete this stuff, you know.
Sure, and we can do that. Let's just plant that seed and we can start getting the verb stuff formalized. And so, Miles said that the students commented on how well organized your wiki is.
Really? Oh, that's nice.
There. The glyph for heavy, it looks like a cross with a arm, and it's got two little like stones on one side and one on the other, and it's heavier. And
I was really proud of that glyph. It took me a long time to figure out how to convey the idea of heaviness, but I was like, wait a minute, I've got a word for equal that is essentially a scale that's just a cross with one thing on each side. I was like, what if you just thought that was pretty clever. We could talk about comparison. Coordination is not very exciting. Relative clauses is something that we could explore. We've already done the number system.
There we go.
Oh. That's right. Of course, we can do that. Yeah.
There we go. So Patrick was the one who asked, right? There we go. I put the glyph for heavy. I realized I was explaining it, and that was silly. I could just put it on the screen. So that is it, and that's what I saw come up on. We have a tidbit thingy. A lot to explain. Anyway.
Oh, here, might
heavy.
as well. There, and there's equal. See, so I had this one first, and I was like, oh.
How fun. Ooh, my toes fell asleep. It has trumlouts.
Participles.
Jonathan wants to know what light is in the sense of not heavy.
Oh, I don't remember.
Do you want me to open up? I'll look in the actual language documents. Well, do you want to start like doing what you were hoping to do? It's gotta think. What are you thinking about?
I'm trying to figure out what the heck we're going to do with the verbs, just the regular base verb form.
Oh. Is años?
No,
That's the wrong light. Oh yeah, because there it is as part of lighthouse. Of course it's the wrong light. Boy, light means a lot of things in English.
That's the wrong one.
This is the wrong light as well. There is no light.
Oh, there might be. Did you start at the top? Huh.
There's no not heavy.
Na kempa. Not heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there is light as in a pale color. There's light as in, what you see. To light as in to light a fire.
I thought about feather. Look up feather or soft.
Picos.
Well, I know that's the word for feather, but feather is another way of saying, I think, rapa. No, I guess not. Go to rapa. R-A with a macron.
Ooh, there we go. And then P.
Mm-hmm.
Rapa,
Soft, careful, gentle. Gosh.
Oh, rauba. Turnip.
Mm.
Oh, and this is a beautiful spelling for that. Good times. Okay.
Biblaridian just coined words for light and heavy in Tachvamir.
Is that supposed to be Tachva?
No.
Takva.
No.
Takvamir?
I was staring at all those aberrant romanization creators.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, Biblaridian does the right thing, because there is a right and a wrong.
It is wild, and it's not something that will be repeated. It's clearly Tongvamir. All right. Okay, so what we are saying, let's summarize what we have so far for verbs. They have these auxiliaries that give us the tense and aspect combinations.
I think they're going to be subjunctive. I think they gotta be.
Subjunctive or like a conditional?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
And then they could also double as command forms.
Okay. I support that decision. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, okay. I don't even know where to start with this. Okay. All right. The interpretation of the various auxiliaries depends crucially on whether the auxiliary is being used with a verbal predicate, adjectival predicate, or a nominal predicate. There. Since we're wading knee deep in the verb pool, we'll start with verbal predicates. Okay.
At least it's only knee deep.
Yeah.
And think of how low those knees are actually to the ground for a beaver.
Oh, that doesn't work. I want, this is what I want. Ooh, my. No, that is what I want.
Hey, anime fan. My God, this is great. So Danielle had asked a question about do turnips grow on Easter Island. Arias Googled it, and the AI-generated search overview said, in Animal Crossing, New Horizons, you can buy turnips from Daisy May after unlocking Nook's Cranny. And then it goes on. But that's the answer.
Pretty exciting to think that turnips would be some sort of an unlock. How exciting for the turnip. It's like the best thing that's happened to turnips in ages.
Well, they do like to turn up at the right occasion. They apparently cost between 90 and 100 bells. Are bells things that you sell in there?
That's
that
the
currency
unit?
It's a bell.
Yeah.
Is it actually a bell? Do you tinkle it as you? Here I go.
I don't actually know. Like, I've never played the game.
I obviously have not either.
I've learned enough about it through the miasma of social media that I know that. It's a coin.
Oh, CJ made it. Yay! That's really unfortunate. I would love to see them playing some handbells as they trade stocks and resources. Nice, Patrick. Thank you, Arias. I think they'll hear your suggestion and do something about it.
Okay, new indent. Let's do this. How about specific information on agreement? See the tables below. Yeah. All right. So can you pull up the green tables on your sheet?
I would love to do that for you. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So let's call this imperfect. So the beaver. Let's do sleeping. That was poo, right?
Yeah, poo.
Poo-na. Okay. The beaver is or was sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Next. Not like that.
Next we have habitual listed. And saw.
Huh. That sounds a little bit like in a tree.
It does, yeah. Yes.
Double A instead of double S.
And that's habitual, so the beaver sleeps regularly. Makes me a little bit jealous of the beaver. Okay.
Next.
Perfect is ve.
Ooh, ve.
And so slept. Perfect. And I said perfect. Future is thama.
Ooh,
Oh, I like that.
yeah.
And will sleep. Mm-hmm. when you're ready, I have the negative because we have the negation, which I believe we had said would end up showing up after the infinitive of the auxiliary if there's an auxiliary with the negator.
Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna start writing here.
Oh, apparently awkwards fell off the internet.
Yeah. It's been kind of low-level conlanging news for the past week or so. Negative auxiliary infinitive is ga.
Ga, yeah.
Why is that in red?
I believe because all of these are like,
Okay.
none of them represent the full form, I don't think.
Yeah, I guess not. That's negative. With a non-finite.
Unless that was a mistake. Oh, it comes from, yeah, none of them.
Oh, because that ah is epenthetic.
Yeah.
Got it. Need to occur in there.
So it was correct. Yay. In conlang year, today's goal was to create a negation strategy for noun phrases. If you have a unique one. Because you don't have to have a unique one. You could always do other things, but...
That's a good day at work. I like that. Okay.
Oh, and then, sorry, I was reading some more of the chat because then Karis put a link for a Linguini Lexifier thing.
Oh, there we go.
Me too, Jonathan. Me too. I need to get back into my Nissaling, which is probably going to be a 2025 project.
All right.
All right. So those are all the auxiliaries we had. Now we had these forms, which do you want me to go ahead and change active to another word? So that way it's in the charts correctly and then you can...
Yeah, like subjunctive, but also we need to specify what these things end with. So this one ends in a consonant and then those end with one of the three vowels.
And when you do that, do you put subjunctive enter down to the next line and then...
Yeah, in parentheses. C final. Yeah.
Does that look appropriate to you?
Yeah, did we ever discuss what happens with two vowels?
I thought, just a second, we had our protoforms up here that we had checked. No, because this is A final, I final, and U final are what we have.
Wait, go back up.
So we would follow this.
I believe so, yeah.
Because what we had said was that the second vowel that became problematic would drop out.
Yeah, I guess. Man, it's kind of hard to figure out. Huh.
That did not work. Apparently accidentally. There we go. Interesting. Unless it's an A. It's the final vowel in most cases, but then there's this ia and iu throwing things off.
Yeah.
So do I list them all or leave it with A final, I final, U final?
Just no, leave that there. Like we just need to sit down with it.
Okay. Okay. Oh, nice, Danielle. Glad to hear you're making some progress again. Right out of yes. New Year's Eve.
So now I'm going to get rid of the copula section because we're doing it a little differently.
Nice, Jake. Got a laughter strike with your 2 bowling pins. I love it.
And was there any type of connection that we were supposed to use between these things?
Between what things?
Or maybe we never considered it with nouns, only adjective predicates.
Oh. You're setting up saying something like the beaver is an animal.
Yeah.
Okay.
We also need a noun that it's going to be, because like we can't do, we're not set up to do, like it would be great to say builder, but we're not set up to do that yet. So we need something that a beaver can be. That is a noun. Animal is good.
Friend.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Lanoth.
Lanoth. Okay, beaver is a friend. Huh. Well, now I wonder, what if we just used the word for stand, because we need that anyway, and just treated it like a true copula, made it verbal?
Instead of,
Then it would be sit stands. That's a little weird, isn't it? Never mind. So we have...
I don't know. If you stand, you're identifying yourself as something.
We have right now sit, swim, build, and whatever that is. It's like hobby or something.
We had, swim. Build, sit, swim, pat with tail.
Pat with tail. So that...
Oh, and I gotta say, like, people are talking about metathesis, and I have seen now the infamous Star Trek episode where Data says metathesis. Bye, Arias. Oh, I guess we should be thinking about saying goodbye too. It is got apparently time to feed my tummy, which is now absolutely taking over the stream, and with a better microphone, y'all may be able to hear it. I am apparently hungry.
I would really love to. I would really love to settle this.
About whether we're actually going to use the same auxiliaries or
Oh, we're going to use the same auxiliaries. The question is there
going to be a verb?
Is there going to be a verb, some other type of connector, or is this good? And the question is, at some point in time, are we okay with the logic? The beaver sits a friend. The beaver swims a friend. That has a different logic from the beaver pats with the tail a friend.
And the beaver builds a friend.
Oh gosh, But
it's not marked as an object, which means it can't be marked as what's being built.
Well, verbs don't actually mark objects in the oldest sense. In the oldest form, they didn't mark objects. The object marking was new.
I would think one of these, though, would be the basic that was used, and if all these other auxiliaries started being used, they weren't necessarily used until later. And so, like, I don't see that you necessarily in the oldest forms need to be able to make these distinctions with copula forms. But you could, once they're in place, just kind of be like, oh, we can use that to mark this other thing that we already do.
Like it could be the case, something that would make like this idea that you had work is that we could say like the older copular expression was just noun, and then it was like, well, we have these auxiliaries, now we can add more information.
We can add more and distinguish it. No, those are always distinguished. Never mind.
Okay, I think this has to be the poll. I think that we got to come up with some strategies and make it the poll.
And Miles is suggesting potentially a semantically weak verb with an auxiliary and then the predicate noun as a locative argument. And then
that's just really big.
Potential adding a verb, like Patrick says, and I think you had said as a connector, like to be like or act as. So no one copular verb, but a lot of former non-copulars that got pressed into service. But that could muddy the waters with the auxiliaries that we already have going on. So yeah, that seems like a good source for a poll, because there's no way we're going to solve this before we need to go, in part because I need to go now, and so I can either leave you with it or...
Yeah. We got started late, though, so it's nice to end late, so we got a full 2 hours.
And we will see you all next week at whatever time we stream.
Yeah, good luck figuring it out.
It should show up when we change the time in the live stream.
Yeah.
And then it should show up if you go onto YouTube. If you follow the channel and whatnot, hopefully it'll show up. But we will look forward to seeing who makes it to our weirdly timed, unannounced time stream next week. And Jake, can't wait to be there for a collaboration. In the meantime, stay grammar, everyone.
Conlangery tomorrow, 1:30.
Ooh, that's right.
No, 11 a.m.
11 a.m.
11 a.m. Pacific.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.